All right, so we're going to start 13 through 20. Um, these are inequalities, so I will solve and graph these. Again, make sure you comment below or write me on Edmodo. So starting with number 13, all right, I have 28 is less than or equal to 8 plus x. All right, and we're going to solve these just like our equation. So we're going to circle our constant. And again, if there's nothing in front of it, then that tells me that it is a positive number. So I need to take the inverse of all positive numbers, of course, is negative. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. All right, that crosses out, and I bring down my x. I can bring down my sign, and 28 minus 8, excuse me, is 20. So 20 is less than or equal to x. Now, we learned about this in class. Now, this is harder to graph, but there's an easier way to graph it if I flip it around. So I'm going to flip this around. All right. Now, when I flip this around, literally, it's like putting it into a mirror. Everything will be on the opposite side. Anytime I have an inequality solution, I want to have my variable, my sign, and then my solution. Again, I need my variable, my sign, and then my solution. But this one is my solution, my sign, and my variable. So I need to flip it around. All right. So again, I need my variable, my sign, and then I need my solution. Now, what happens to the sign? If it is open or eating the x on this side, then it needs to do the same thing when you flip it. So you need to flip the sign as well. Again, it needs to be my variable, my sign, and then the solution. Now, when you flip it, everything flips. This flips to the front, this flips to the back, and this sign flips, okay? So again, if it's open toward the x here, then it needs to be open toward the x here. All right, so my answer is x is greater than or equal to 20. So how does that look on a number line? Looks just like this. When doing your number line, you don't need a lot of points. You can do about 5 or 6. In this case, I'm just going to do 5, and I'm going to number my number line, I guess, from 17 until 21. All right, now this tells me that it is a closed circle, so I'm going to put a closed circle in 20. And x is greater, so that means it's going to the right. Again, greater going to the right, less going to the left. And this is how it looks. The rest of it may be a little quick, but that's number 13 for you. All right, number 14. I have x over 19, or x divided by 19 is greater than 8. All right, so I had an equation like this, but this time it's an inequality. You solve inequalities just like you solve equations. So I'm going to multiply by 19 on both sides. I'm going to try to move my 14. Try to move it up here. Multiply by 19 on both sides. This is a multiplication sign. All right, this 19 and that 19 cancels out. I have my x. Bring down my sign. And 8 times 19 is a huge number. And that, my friend, is 152. Okay, but if you didn't know that, is of course you can use the long way or possibly a calculator, but because you're not using one on the test, I don't suggest you. So 9 times 8 is 72. I put the 2 here and put the 7 at the top. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. So I get 152 and I put it there. So x is greater than 152. Of course, the numbers on your test won't be this large, but it's good for practice. Again, you only need about 5 or 6 tick marks on your number line. So start with 150 and then just number 151, 152, 153, 154. Okay, now this tells me it is an open circle. So I'm going to go to 152 and put an open circle there. All right, x is greater. Greater tells me I'm going to the right. All right, number 15. All right, I have v minus 16. V minus 16 is greater than or equal to negative 18. V minus 16 is greater than or equal to, negative 8. I don't know where I got 18 from. negative 8. All right, again, I'm going to circle my constant. Once I circle it, I'm going to take the inverse. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides. Add 16 to both sides. Bring down my v. Bring down my sign. And negative 8 plus 16. Again, different signs you subtract. Different signs you subtract. So 16 minus 8, of course, is 8. But I take the sign of my larger number. And the larger number is 16, so 8 is positive. So v is greater than or equal to 8. All right, so I'm going to graph this. Let's start at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Greater than or equal to means it's going to be a closed circle. It seems like all of these are going to be greater than. Well, so far anyway. All right, this is how it should look. Of course, your graph should look a little bit better than mine, but, for the sake of the example, hopefully, you get the bulk of it. All right, number 16. Have m plus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 15. M plus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 15. I'm circling my constant here. Once I circle my constant, I take the inverse. So I'm subtracting 2 on both sides. I'll bring down my m, bring down my sign. Negative 15 plus negative 2. Again, same sign I'm going to add. So 15 plus 2, of course, is 17. So I got to keep the sign. And it's going to be a negative 17. Negative 17. So m is greater than or equal to negative 17. And that looks like this. All right, let's see. Again, as you number your number line, especially on the negative side, as you go further and further to the left, it seems as though the numbers are getting bigger, but because it's negative, the numbers are getting smaller. So if you have negative 17 here, to the right of negative 17 will be negative 16. To the left of negative 17 will be negative 18, negative 19, and negative 20. Again, on the negative number line, they increase, well, it seems like they increase as you go to the left. Then it seems like they decrease as you go to the right, but that negative tells me that this number is small. So negative 1 is actually bigger than negative 18. All right, so m is greater than or equal to negative 17. This means it's going to be a closed circle. Once it's a closed circle, greater than means I'm going to the right. Again, less than means I'm going to the left. So greater than, I'm going to the right. And number 17, we have v over 3 is less than 19. V over 3 is less than 19. Again, you're going to focus on the side with the variable. So you're going to multiply by your denominator on both sides. So this 3 cancels with that 3, and v is less than 19 times 3. That is 57. Again, you can do it the long way. 3 times 9 is 27. So I'm going to put a 7 here. Excuse that. Put a 2 here. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So my answer is 57. That's how I got that. All right, our first less than. So now we get to graph this one a little different. All right, so 57, of course, I'm going to start with 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59. This means it's going to be an open circle. Less than, I'm going to the left, so I'm going to start and shade to the left. All right, number 18, have n over 19, and that is less than or equal to 5 over 19. All right, I'm going to erase this because this is so big. All right, so I'm looking at the side with my variable, and I'm going to multiply by my denominator. My denominator is 19, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 19. This 19 cancels with that 19, and I have n is less than or equal to, this 19 cancels with that 19 as well, 5. So we can make a graph on this one. This time I'll just put 5 here. So if I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and I find my 5 and put a closed circle. Again, if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's a closed circle. And n is less, so that means I'm going to the left. Again, less, left. And excuse my shading. All right, number 19. I have negative 20m is greater than or equal to 280. All right, so this one's a little different. All right, anytime you have a number very, very close with no sign in between to a variable, then this tells me that this is multiplication. All right, so the inverse of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 20. And m, when you divide by a negative, you must flip the sign. So this sign will flip to the other way. I'm going to try to make it a little bit better. It's going to flip the other way. Again, I'm multiplying by a negative 20, so my sign has to flip. So 280 divided by negative 20 is negative 14. Negative 14. All right, so to graph this, all right, we got negative 16, negative 15, negative 14, negative 13, negative 12. This tells me it's a closed circle. All right, m is less than, so less means I'm going to the left. I hope I didn't make this too jumbled for you. All right, so this is the graph for number 19. And it seems as though I can't get number 20 on there, so I'm going to have to make another video for you all. So this is 13 through 19. I have solved each one and I have graphed it. If you have any questions, make sure you comment below or write me on Edmodo. All right. All right. See you in the next video.